NBA Domination begins. Logan unlocks full-level Aomine Daiki skills. Episode 21. United States, Utah, Salt Lake City. In the Energy Solutions arena, the voices of Jazz fans grew louder and louder as Logan moved. This was once the home of the devil. How many traditional heroes have been crushed at the home of the Jazz? Not to mention the Lakers, led by Logan now. Even the Lakers led by Kobe Bryant at that time, Jazz fans have never been afraid. Time travels back to the distant 05-06 season. Kobe, who was at the peak of the game, was at the home of the Jazz, scoring 43 points. It set a new personal scoring high for a Lakers player at home to the Jazz. The result? The Utah Jazz beat the Los Angeles Lakers 115-107 in that game. Kobe Bryant joined the Air/group gorgeously. The pinnacle Kobe Bryant couldn't take advantage of the Jazz's home court. How dare Logan provoke the audience? Beat. LA, beat. LA, beat. LA. The Jazz fans at the scene began to shout the most classic slogans in unison. This is the classic slogan shouted by the Boston Celtics in the 80-year playoffs: beat the Lakers. Salt Lake City fans are not vegetarians. They won't let the Lakers, who play on the road comfortably, continue to play. Logan has angered a bunch of people who shouldn't be angry, and they're going to play in 48 minutes of booing. The two commentators were not only blinded by Logan's move, but also shocked by the operation of the Jazz fans on the spot. Nearly 20,000 fans shouted "beat LA" in unison. This is truly spectacular. The camera returns to the game. Logan's three-step layup really made the Jazz, all of them, deeply angry. In the offensive round, Gobert simply took the initiative to ask for the ball from the inside, wanting to lead by example, and the inside line opened the situation. George Hill understood the spirit and broke into the inside line, and then he received the pass in the air to help Gobert and complete the air dunk. After finishing the score, Gobert looked hostilely at Logan's position. He responded with that. Of course, Logan wanted to see Gobert's response. Because this means that the Jazz inside Iron Gate will not continue to be afraid on the defensive end. Lakers offense. Russell passed Randall, who then sent the ball into Logan's hands on the inside. The latter plucked onions dryly, suppressed Rudy Gobert again, turned his hands into one hand, and the limit split into the box. In the case of someone defending, Logan will definitely go up to the door and shoot a dunk. When no one is on the defensive side, Logan will only send a basket that is too simple to be simple. Logan is so funny, he never slams a basket without difficulty. Past games aside. At least for today's game, Logan is like the narrator analyzed. Not separated from the ball of a person, he does not buckle. While the offensive end of the various flying buckles, back on the defensive end, Logan faced the singles Joe, who finally received the ball, and did not have any weakness. Volleyball cap Joe Johnson stepped back and shot at the crowd as fans watched the boos of the fans pause for half a frame. Under the wild blessing of Ching Fong Dahue, a series of singles moves of singles Joe are slow motion that drops frames in Logan's eyes. In case I don't kill you, count me out. In the first quarter of the game, Logan showed dominance on both ends of the offensive and defensive ends. Even Luke Wharton, who has always advocated egalitarian basketball, has been conquered by Logan's sweeping style of play. Go to special egalitarianism. Wouldn't it be nice to give the ball to Logan and leave him alone? Throughout the first quarter, Logan played 9 minutes and 23 seconds, and one person grabbed 24 points, helping the Lakers 31-20 in the single quarter, and the Spirit of the Jazz 11 points. 24 points in a single quarter is also the highest single quarter score for a rookie player in NBA history. At the same time, it is only 2 points away from the first quarter of the NBA history of individual scoring. Logan is only 2 points away from equaling the first quarter personal scoring record in NBA history. Von Leonard was trembling, their record was almost broken by a rookie. It's a pity, Luo State today is too explosive. I don't know when I want to find this state in the future, I have to wait. During the break, looking at the technical statistics in their hands, the two commentators on the sidelines felt a deep regret for Logan. The highest score in the first quarter of NBA history is 26 points in the first quarter, held by Von Leonard. The 2003 All-Star three-point contest champion, that game scored a total of 12 points in the other 3 quarters except for the explosion of the first quarter. Failed to continue the hot state of the first quarter. Obviously, in the eyes of the narrator, Logan's first section is so explosive, it is difficult to continue. Because the Jazz can't let a rookie player continue to shine in his own home court. Unfortunately, the Utah Jazz's defense today really can't control Logan. Singles Joe's defensive end moves too slowly, facing Logan equals non-existence. Rudy Gobert was eaten to death by Logan in terms of physical confrontation. Whether it is height or strength, the French Yanzhou has been completely exploded by the Heavenly Dynasty Yanzhou. From time to time, Hood stepped forward to assist in the defense, forming a two-man defense line. However, under Rogan's ultra-high-speed dribble, Hood's co-defense speed is not as fast as the opponent's breakthrough speed. 2v1 can be suddenly sifted, which makes Jazz coach Schneider stand on the sidelines and rage incompetently. If he could, he even wanted to take off his suit and rush onto the court, transform into the sixth man of illusion, and defend Logan together. Unfortunately, this is not realistic. The entire Energy Program Center, also under the continuous and stable output of the second section of Rogan, the sound gradually faded. The furious Salt Lake City fans were beaten by Logan into a soft Hello Kitty. In the second quarter, Logan gave away 15 points in a single quarter, plus 2 steals, plus 2 blocks. At the end of the half, he played 39 points, 4 rebounds, 6 steals, and 3 blocks. Aside from the fact that the assist column is an empty zero, Logan's performance has left no slot points. 39 points at halftime. Logan set a halftime scoring record for a rookie player in his first game. He surpassed the debut halftime scoring record held by Wilt Chamberlain in his rookie season. Don't look at the halftime scoring record. Logan is obviously going to break the rookie opening scoring record held by the coach today. Logan has now broken basketball emperor Chamberlain's halftime rookie opening scoring record. It's only a matter of time before the scoring record is broken. From the second half of the game, Logan was watched over by the Jazz players. But the problem is still that problem. The Jazz outside line lacks an absolute defensive spike. No one can match Rogan under the super fast dribble. Watching the score difference get wider and wider, the scene was almost silent. Jazz coach Schneider on the sidelines waved a big hand and decisively replaced all the main players. Less than 3 quarters, it was announced that the game was abandoned. Luke Walton didn't let Logan kill him either. With a free throw from the Lakers' number 7 to score his 47th point of the game, Logan was also replaced by Wharton with Wayne Ellington. In the end, under Rogan's hot performance of 47 points in the third quarter, Los Angeles Lakers won 18-98 away from home, beat the Jazz by 20 points to win their first win of the season. Logan broke the record held by Kobe Bryant, Lakers players for the highest single game scoring at home for the Jazz. He also broke the record held by Wilt Chamberlain, rookie player scoring in the first game. At the end of the game, the ESPN commentator on the sidelines, looking at the information given backstage in his hand. At the same time, he also surpassed Dayo to set the highest single-game scoring score of a Tianchao player in the NBA. Tonight will be the night of record for Logan. Episode 22. Sir Utah is also an old background emperor. In the final game of the regular season last season, the Jazz were Kobe's last opponent on the retired tour. Black Mamba blasted the last 60 points of his career in that game. Created the highest score in retirement history in NBA history. Kobe Bryant fought the final battle of his career, setting a record in the head of the Jazz. Now, it's the Lakers again. Jazz again. The young Rogan, in the first game of his career, once again on the head of the Utah Jazz, set a new record. Lakers players scored the highest single-game score at home for the Jazz. Beyond Kobe. NBA all-time rookie record for the highest scoring in a debut. Beyond Wilt Chamberlain. A Sky Dynasty player has the highest single-game scoring record in NBA history. Beyond Dayo. This is only the first game of Logan's career, and he has set his own record in just 3 quarters. Sorry Kobe, sorry Wilt, sorry Yao, your records now all belong to Logan. I declare that I am now a fan of Logan. Coincidentally, so do I. ESPN's 2 commentators exchanged excitement. In their view, Logan is the banner of the Lakers' new era. We were blown up by a rookie. Meanwhile, the post-match interview session. Utah Sir coach Quinn Snyder said bluntly, Rogan's performance has been impressive. His speed, his punch, and his powerful scoring ability. It's hard for me to imagine this is a failed draft and the team didn't even have his details before today. If we could have known about Luo's existence earlier, we would have chosen him with the number 1 sign. Schneider doesn't care that the team lost today's game. What he cares about is why it was before today, or before the summer league. No one had told him about the existence of a rookie like Logan? Let this level of rookie become a failed draft, almost all the teams in the league are brain dead. That is, you can't meddle in the personnel management of the team. Otherwise, Schneider would really like to fire the Jazz scout. Logan is going to be a phenomenal player, and I'm convinced of that. Joe John, who also gave a post-match interview, was very honest. He's the strongest rookie I've ever met, not one of them. Although the singles Joe has now passed the peak, how to say that there is still a 3-plate axe at the bottom of the pressure box. Today, however, Singles Joe is not only on the offensive end of the three-plate axe, completely locked by Logan. The defensive end, he was in front of Logan, equal to air. This kind of rookie is indeed the first time in Joe Johnson's more than 10 years of basketball career. Powerful enough not to be a rookie. Luo is the whole reason why the team won. Lakers coach Luke Walton, who was interviewed on the other side, also obeyed. I didn't have a chance to lay out any tactics in today's game. Give the ball to Logan and he'll do it all on his own. Although Walton himself has no tactics, he really doesn't even have the opportunity to lay out tactics today. Not to mention laying out tactics. Walton's pause was not called several times. Every timeout, it was the Jazz who was stopped by Logan. Even last season, he coached 73 Warriors in full account. Walton has never coached as easily as today's game. After interviewing the Jazz general and the Lakers manager, the media rushed to Logan's position. The protagonist of this evening, of course, is the last to appear. Ro, congratulations on winning the first game of your career. Will the NBA be any different from the Summer League? Logan, you broke a bunch of records today. How did it feel to make records? Luo. Reporters at the scene rushed to throw the questions out. In the face of the reporters who surrounded him in the 3 layers inside and 3 layers outside, Logan seemed very calm. It's a great feeling to win the first game, but I don't think there's any difference between the NBA and the Summer League. As for the record setting, to be honest, I don't feel anything. I was just doing what I had to do to win the game. Breaking the record wasn't my intention. I broke some records by hand, and I really don't have any special feelings. Logan was really telling the truth. Although he was a deep NBA fan before the crossing, he really has no impression of this kind of detailed record. What rookie debut record, what Celestial Dynasty player scored the highest score in a single game, what Lakers player scored the highest score at home for the Jazz. Logan just wanted to win today, and he broke a record. But to tell the truth, it really hit the reporters' 3 views. Dude, the NBA is no different from the Summer League? Nothing to break the record? Or is it just a hand-to-hand break? It's you. One last question, Luo. ESPN's reporters hurry up. At the beginning of the game, we found that you seemed to have some quarrel with Boris Diaw, sitting on the sidelines. What exactly did Boris say to you? And what did you say to Rudy Gobert after you detained him? The story of the whole game begins with Diaw's words. It's just a pity that these media people can't read lips. The live broadcast also did not capture the sound of the sidelines. What exactly did Diaw say to Logan? What exactly did Logan say to Diaw? Not to mention the media, even the fans want to know. He bet I wouldn't dare score under Rudy's defense, so I just proved it to him. Logan didn't hide either. Here, I can only apologize to Rudy. If you're going to blame it, blame your teammates. After saying this, Logan ended the interview and turned and walked into the player aisle. Later, Rudy Gobert, who had showered and was in bed watching ESPN's evening news, watched Logan's post-match interview. Almost squirted out a mouthful of old blood. It turned out that he was caught as a pippy shrimp today, and it was Diaw's fault that it was all special. Gobert's mentality completely collapsed. Don't be afraid of the opponent strong, afraid of pig teammates. Episode 23, Logan's record-setting debut quickly dominated the news headlines of major media in the United States. You know, Wilt Chamberlain's record was kept for 61 years. In the past 61 years, the NBA has seen countless proud children. John the Magician, Jabbar the Celestial Hook, Bird, Jordan the God of Basketball, Kobe Bryant, Emperor James. Wait. Countless superstars have emerged, but none of them have been able to break the rookie opening scoring record held by the coach. Now, a failed draft pick from the Summer League has broken that record. It will inevitably shock the whole country. What's more, it took Logan just 3 knots to get it all done. And his way of scoring is all about 2 points on the inside, without too many 3-point shots. With the success of the Golden State Warriors and Stephen Curry, the current NBA's 3-point ratio has increased significantly. Teams like the Houston Rockets have even begun to abandon mid-range and turn on what they call magic ball play. In the case of increased 3-point shooting, it seems normal to throw high scores. But Logan wasn't the same. In his 47-point formation, he made just 3 3-point shots and hit 2 of them. Putting aside these 6 points, his remaining 41 points were all scored by the impact of the inside line. Don't forget, Sir Utah's interior line has Rudy Gobert in the seat. Yes, that's what Logan is doing today, to be admirable. He set a record facing the league's top restricted area Iron Gate. Logan's topic popularity is also reflected in Twitter's hot search list. It's just that Gene's heat didn't last long, and he was snatched away by another game that night. Also on the 26th. Anthony Davis, facing the Denver Nuggets, slashed 50 points, 15 rebounds, plus 5 assists, 5 blocks, and 4 steals. He almost fills the data bar, is all-around efficient, and his performance explodes. Unfortunately, even though the thick-brow brother dominated the game, the Pelicans still lost to the Nuggets and failed to win their first win next season. Anthony Davis is more noteworthy than Logan. He is so energetic, but he still can't help the team win the game. Since the start of the new season, we have seen too many star performances. This year is really a season of data blowout. In the case of the explosive data of various stars, Logan's debut 47 points play seems to be no longer so eye-catching. On October 27, United States time, under the background of the explosion of data on the 26th. The 4 matches on the day of the 27th were unremarkable and tasteless. But the NBA is like this. After a day of silence, on October 28, U.S. time, the adrenaline of fans soared again. DeRozan scored 31 points to lose and started the wonderful number 28. Drummond grabbed 20 rebounds to help the Pistons beat the Magic. DeMarcus Cousins had 37 points and 16 rebounds. Harrison Barnes scored 31 points. Shingue Wei Xiao won the first battle with a quasi-triple-double, and in the second game, he directly bombarded the super triple-double with 51 points, 11 rebounds plus 10 assists, and led the team to win. The Cosmic Warriors finally defeated the Pelicans with 81 points from Duku Tangha to win their first win of the next season. Opposite them, Anthony Davis, who had joined the cutter in the previous game, secured the position of the leader of the snapper. In the whole game, Brother Thick Brow scored a double-double of 45 points and 17 rebounds, adding bricks and tiles to his air-cutting career. The exaggerated data is like a cabbage, and it appears on the 28th. There is no doubt that the opening stage of the season may be the craziest in recent seasons. United States, Portland, Moda Center Arena. The commentator from ABC TV on the sidelines said excitedly, "Last season started with Stephen Curry and his Warriors dominating the game, but this season is a blossom. Yes, look at the players who exploded in the opening stages of this year, their fiery state can't stop. Even this year the Warriors took Durant, making up Cosmic Brave. But just by looking at the games in the first few days of the season, the fans suddenly have a taste of returning to the once herd of deer." The single-core star ushered in the explosion of data. Speaking of the performance of the data explosion, we certainly can't forget the 2 players in today's game. Bringing the conversation back to today's game, the narrator continues to raise expectations. The Portland Blazers, who played at home, beat their strong opponents in the first game of the season. Damian Lillard scored 39 points in that game, almost the first 40 points of the season. According to the performance of all the stars this season, maybe today Damian will give a 40-plus performance. After talking about the home team, the Los Angeles Lakers, who play on the road, also have such a scoring master worth looking forward to. Logan, a young player from the Celestial Dynasty, scored the highest score in his rookie history with 47 points in his first game of his career. Can Logan continue to be in a hot state in Portland today? I'm looking forward to it, as the 2 commentators analyzed. On the players whose form exploded at the start of the season. How can Lillard and Logan be ignored? Damian Lillard scored 39 points in the opening game and Logan scored 47 points in the first game. 2 scoring masters, who can continue the fiery state of the first game today? Is Lillard? Or Logan? Or maybe 2 players will have a scoring feast at the Moda Center? The 2 ABC commentators were already enthusiastic just by analyzing it. Who doesn't want to watch a star versus a star game? So why buy a ticket to come to the scene to watch the game? Logan is a good young man and he made headlines in the first game. You know, it's not easy. In the pre-match interview, Lillard, who was facing the camera, first praised Logan. A 47 points is really good for a rookie. But for me, it's nothing. You know, Lillard had 2 50-plus scoring performances last season. 47 points for Lillard, really not so big. He's still young and has a lot to learn. At the end of the interview, Lillard spoke to Logan. Today, I'll let him know that in terms of scoring ability, he's almost on fire. Episode 24. When it comes to rookie seasons that are blockbuster, Damian Lillard is definitely one of them. In his rookie season, Lillard delivered an excellent stat of 19 plus 6 per game. But even if Lillard's rookie season was excellent, he was still taught a lesson by the stars of the league at the time. Now, Lillard himself is Logan's predecessor, and he can finally make Logan pay tuition with big deception. What's more, in terms of scoring ability, Rice is not a virtual Logan. Lillard's scoring average last season improved to 25 points per game. And, for times in a single season with 40-plus, 2 of which were double-doubles in the 40-plus 10 class. The remaining 2 are 50 points per game and 51 points per game. Although Rogan's 47 points are amazing. But 50 points and 40 plus, there is still a difference in grade. That's why Lillard dared to speak like this in a pre-match interview. There have been two 50-plus performances, which is capital. Judging from Damian Lillard's pre-match remarks, today we have another chance to see a big fight. I'm sure that's what everyone is looking forward to. No one likes the super scorers battle against each other, let alone the two of them who do have this ability. Two ABC TV commentators filled the list of expectations. They didn't want to see Logan or Lillard pull on their crotches. What people want to see is Lillard versus Logan scoring feast. The warm-up between the two sides ended quickly, with starters from both teams standing on the pitch. The Los Angeles Lakers start here is still Russell plus Roar Dunn plus Randall plus Nance Jr. and Rogan. The Portland Blazers started Damian Lillard plus CJ McCollum plus Maurice Harkless plus Aomine and Mason Plumlee. The center forwards of both teams stood on the center line and the referee threw the ball high. Both Nance Jr. and Plumlee were notorious jumping men, but Nance Jr. had an even better arm span, taking the lead and handing the ball to D'Angelo Russell. The Lakers controlled the offensive ball of the game's first attack. Luke Walton gave the players a tactical gesture on the sidelines. Immediately afterward, Randall, who moved to the front, mentioned the right side to help Logan hang a block. Everyone thought that Logan would borrow the block to get out and catch the ball, but Logan just pretended to use the block, and instantly ran back to get rid of Aomine, who was defending himself, and rushed straight to the basket. Russell, who held the ball at the top of the arc, did not hesitate in the slightest, and decisively passed the ball to the right side of the basket, intending to empty it. How naive. At the same time, Plumlee, who returned to his basket, also took off. Stop in front of Logan and get ready to finish the cover. Russell's pass was not ideal, and it was far from the basket. Plus Plumlee's high-altitude interception. Both commentators felt that Logan might choose to pass the ball out and reorganize. Whoosh. But, Logan, who is stepping into the air, the pass key has been cut off. In the air, Plumlee, who has reached the maximum height, faces Logan who takes off, but his pupils are surprised to enlarge. I have reached my maximum height and have started to fall. And Logan was still stuck in the air. It was this time-lapse difference of a few tenths of a second that allowed Logan to pull the lever with one hand and throw the ball. Aha! The basketball was watched by the falling Plumlee and fell into the net with precision. 2:0. The Lakers are the first to take the lead. Oh, empty one-handed lever? Logan's ability to stay in the air of this ball is amazing. It's a bit of a Michael Jordan, but Rogan's starting altitude seems to be a little more exaggerated. That's right, and Rogan's palm is big, which makes it easy for him to complete a series of one-handed movements in the air. Don't forget, Ronaldo's ball is still in the air and facing a big defender. When it comes to frontal one-handed pull-down goals, Michael Jordan is also a good player. Jordan's strong waist and abdomen strength and ability to stagnate, as well as his large palm, allow him to score as much as he wants in the sky. However, Rogan's ball was an empty one-handed lever, and he also hit the defender with a time difference. From any point of view, the difficulty of Rogan's ball is much greater than Jordan's completion. Don't be stunned, serve. Although Plumlee was baffled by Logan's ball, Lillard didn't take it to heart. After urging his teammates to serve, Lillard quickly advanced through the half, taking cover to get around the empty seat, pulling out a long two-point shot through the net. After scoring the goal, Lillard also glanced in Logan's direction, consciously or unconsciously. What's the use of fancy goals? The unpretentious mid-range is also 2 points. No difference. Damian Lillard responded quickly and helped the team score 2 points. You can see that Damian's hand is very hot this season, and the mid- and long-range shooter is coming. The voices of the two commentators landed on the ground, and Logan's second wave of attack had already struck. No need to cover, the whole field pulled away. 1v1 faced Harkless' tight defense. Logan dribbled the ball to adjust the rhythm, instantly activated, the super high speed changed direction to shake off the defender, the free throw line position throw, and then took 2 more points. Looking back, Lillard's response will also be quick. At a 45-degree angle on the right, D'Angelo Russell was singled out, and after Lillard shook, he pulled up a three-pointer. The basketball draws a perfect arc and shoots through the net. 5:4. The Portland Blazers overtook by 1 point. After hitting the ball, Lillard also made his own classic celebration in the direction of Logan. He pointed to his right wrist and made a gesture to the table. It's noon. Lillard's move was captured directly by the live broadcast footage. There is no doubt that this is the Blazers defender, officially sending out a battle letter to Logan. That's it. That's what we're looking at. Damian is the god of this field, he can overcome everything. Rush, Damien. Go ahead, Trailblazer. Lillard's classic gesture of arriving at noon directly ignited the entire Moda Center arena. Who wasn't a Devils arena back then? All Blazers fans stood up and chanted Lillard and the Blazers' names. The cheers echoed through the air. Listen to the cheers of the stereo surround the audience. Logan, who had walked through the half, suddenly felt that this face was a bit familiar. Last game, at the home of the Jazz, Energy Solutions Center. It seems that when the game started, it was the same situation? Episode 25. Oh, Damian Lillard blew up the entire Moda Center, and the Blazers started off with a lot of momentum. But seriously, Logan isn't afraid of this away atmosphere. Don't forget, in the last game in Salt Lake City, Logan not only faced the home boos of the Mountain and Tsunami. Even after finishing the score, provoke the whole court and make the Jazz fans at home cheer a little louder. United States, Portland, Moda Center. Two commentators from ABC TV on the sidelines analyzed the situation on the field. Don't look at the fans at home of the Blazers now, the cheers are continuous, and it seems that the momentum alone can swallow the Lakers who play on the road. In fact, Logan had not seen such a scene. What he did at home to the Jazz, the two commentators will not forget. Today is just a small scene. They even began to wonder if Logan would replicate what he did in Salt Lake City in the last game. The camera returns to the court. In the Lakers' offensive round, Russell held the ball through the half, going around cover to find War Dang on the other side. Old Dang too received the ball and threw it away, but unfortunately, the basketball hit the iron. Under the basket, Plumlee circled in front of Nance Jr., ready to protect the backcourt rebound. Boo. Unfortunately, before Plumlee could take off, Logan behind him had already flown out, pressing his opponent and completing the dunk. Offensive and defensive conversion, Blazers offense. Lillard singled out Russell, scoring into the box with a low-hand layup in color. Turning back, Logan held the ball on the flank. One step away from the defender, facing Plumlee, who came to make up for the defense, the ultra-high-speed dribble changed direction, directly shaking the opponent to the ground. Ignoring the underwhelming Blazers inside line, Logan took 3 big steps into the inside line, and the small windmill slammed into the score. Oh, great dribbling show, Logan threw off the defense, shook down Mason Plumlee, and dunked to score. Throw the ball aside first, and Damian's attack pushes forward. The two commentators were too late to explain. None of them expected that at the beginning of the game, the core players of both sides would start a crazy air explosion. Only Lillard's back kick 3-point shot for the next leg failed to hit. The rebound was protected by Nance Jr., and Harkless gambled to intercept and lose a foul. Although the ball could not be snatched down, the Lakers' counterattack advance was also interrupted. Landing in positional warfare, Russell shifted extensively to find Logan. At the same time, Julius Randle came up and made a blocking and dismantling match for Logan. In front of Logan, it was Mason Plumlee again. The poor big man, guided by Logan's dribble, danced. Boo. Completely shaking Plumlee's center of gravity, Logan entered the 3-second zone as if no one was there, and Plumlee, with more than enough heart and insufficient strength, fell to the ground again. Fell again. Mason was once again shaken down by Logan. Only players who are serious about defending will be shaken down, and from this point of view, Mason deserves our respect. For today's wonderful battle of attack, sacrifice Mason. The two commentators held back their laughter and paid the highest tribute to Mason Plumlee, who fell to the ground for the second time. From the beginning of the game to the present, it has always been the background emperor, and it is indeed worthy of respect. Equally, Plumlee, who fell to the ground and watched Logan score with his back buckled, was heartbroken. He certainly knew the theme of today's game, which was Logan versus Lillard. But it's a matter for the two of you, why did I come to be the background emperor? I'm a lying gun. Still, Plumlee was wrong. He didn't just come out and lie down with the gun, he was also shaken down by Logan for the third time. Lying on the ground again, Plumlee could only look up at the sky. People will only remember Logan, who performed like crazy. Who remembers who would be being teased by Logan? Obviously, it doesn't matter who is being teased by Logan. Logan's performance show continues, and he's shaken the Portland Blazers defenders down for the third time in a row. His dribbling was so skilled, crisp, and clean, there was no superfluous movement, but every movement was full of fraud. The most important thing is that Logan's dribbling speed is so fast, he is literally performing his basketball skills on high speed. The two commentators had already ignored who was being shaken down. Logan is the only player in the spotlight. Beep. Of course, not only the narrator's eyes focused on Logan, but also the Blazers coach Terry Stokes on the sidelines, who was also hit by Logan's continuous play with the performance of the defensive line. After Logan's goal, Stokes called out the first time out of the game. Maurice, Al, you can properly wrap Logan on the defensive end and don't let him easily score from the inside. Mason, you don't have to come out to make up for the defense, believe me, your role in standing under the basket is better than the effect of your pulling out to make up for the defense. Damian, pay attention to the position of your teammates, basketball is not a one-man sport, you can also pass the ball more. After explaining the remaining 4 players, Stokes' eyes fell on CJ McCollum. Since the opening, the Blazers' remaining 4 players have at least made appearances. CJ, on the other hand, completely evaporated at both ends of the offensive and defensive ends. Coach, I can't get rid of Logan, he's too fast. As if sensing the team's manager's gaze, CJ McCollum shook his head helplessly, his height has completely crushed me. On the defensive end, CJ was absolutely impossible to defend Logan. But on the offensive end, what CJ has to face is Logan's defense. However, whether it was the hardware of the body or the software, Logan easily suppressed CJ McCollum. He couldn't even catch the ball properly. Not to mention helping Lillard share the offensive pressure. I'll design offensive tactics for you, CJ. Stokes didn't think so. The key to the team's victory is that you and Damian have both nuclear power. CJ, Luo is just a rookie, you can get him at all. Since the opening, Lillard has attacked fiercely, but his efficiency is obviously not as good as Logan. If the game turns into a 1-to-1 for Lillard and Logan, the Blazers will undoubtedly lose. For a team to win, it must activate the second point of scoring, CJ McCollum. Logan's advantage on the defensive end is really big. But Stokes believes, McCollum can definitely handle this rookie. The timeout ended and the players from both sides returned to the court. Blazers ball, Lillard pushed through the half, chose to hand over the ball, and found CJ on the other side. Unfortunately, CJ was completely enveloped by Logan as soon as he had just held the ball. The forced long 2-point shot was also ruthlessly fanned by Logan. The basketball was controlled by Russell, and the Lakers counterattacked the front court and scored 2 more points. The Portland Trailblazers obviously wanted to activate CJ McCollum's point, but it didn't seem to work very well. Just like the narrator explains. The Blazers are trying their best to feed CJ the ball, and the result is to constantly refresh Logan's defensive data. Steal plus cover. Logan disrupted the Blazers' offense 4 times in a row on the defensive end. The Lakers seized 4 opportunities, all completed the counterattack, and instantly pulled the point difference to double digits. The entire Moda Center gradually fell silent in the midst of wave after wave of counterattacks from the Lakers. Toot. In the silent Moda Center. The sound of Blazers coach Stokes on the sidelines applying for a timeout again was particularly loud. He didn't think of that. Logan didn't use offense to pull the deficit open. He used his defense purely to tilt the balance of victory to the Lakers. And the opportunity for Logan to achieve all this was actually given by himself. The Blazers' attempt to open up the situation has actually become an opportunity for the Lakers to open up the point difference. This game is not quite right. Logan, the rookie, is very wrong. Episode 26, Mark, who is the Blazers' opponent today? United States, Oregon, Portland. Nike corporate headquarters, high-level offices. Nike chairman Phil Knight, after a long day of work, sat back to see the NBA game in progress. Although Phil Knight did not have a team he supported. But Nike is headquartered in Portland, and he's an honorary alumnus of the University of Oregon. It's normal to keep an eye on the Oregon-Portland team Blazers. Boss, their opponent today is the Los Angeles Lakers. As Phil Knight's assistant, Mark Parker is well prepared in all aspects of the material. The Lakers have just the new generation of players that we've been paying a lot of attention to lately, Logan. Nike has been an addition to a large-scale signing of NBA active stars, the launch of signed shoes belonging to superstars. I've also been keeping an eye on the supernovae who are new to the league. For example, this year's champion Ben Simmons, even if the rookie season is reimbursed, he is still signed by Nike. At the time of the rise of the Logan Summer League, Nike's eyes were already on the Sky Dynasty player. It's just that Logan is worth the investment, and Nike management is still hesitating. Logan? Is that the Celestial Dynasty player who has been very popular lately? Phil Knight hadn't been mindful of the rookie player development for a long time, so he didn't pay much attention to Logan. But even without paying attention to Logan, the young man has been making headlines too many times lately. I have heard it many times. With nothing to do now, Phil Knight simply asked Mark Parker to turn on ABC TV to see the Blazers-Lakers game. You may not believe it, Mark, the home atmosphere of the Moda Center is one of the best I've ever seen. Mark Parker debugs the live signal, and Phil Knight starts bragging about the Portland home team. Wait until you can hear the cheers of their home fans, it's spectacular. During the conversation, ABC TV's live channel appeared on the huge office display. But to Phil Knight's surprise, why is there no sound? Is the display broken? But the voices of the two ABC commentators, they can hear clearly. This shows that the broadcast sound source and the display screen are no problem. Soon, Knight realized. The problem may not be your own hardware device. It's this game. The two business tycoons stopped talking, and all their attention was on the live broadcast of the game. This is the second half of the second quarter of the game. Logan was replaced to dominate the attacking ball. The Lakers' number 7 offensive end lightning breakthrough, a big break in the double bag clip, and breaking into the inner line is a dashing lever, which carries forward the essence of amorphous shooting. This is Logan? Phil Knight came to be interested, his style of play, a bit like MJ when he was younger, MJ, aka Michael Jordan. Over the years, apart from Jordan, there are not many players who can make Knight talk about it from time to time. From Rogan's ball lever, Phil Knight saw Jordan's shadow. And that's just the beginning. In just a few minutes of live time, Logan used his ultra-high-speed dribble plus amorphous shooting on the offensive end, and single-handedly broke the entire defense line of the Blazers. And that's not all. On the defensive end, Logan made CJ McCollum directly invisible, breaking the Blazers' right arm on the offensive end. As Logan was at the offensive and defensive ends, Phil Knight and Nike's office immediately figured it out. Why is it that the Moda Center, which has always been full of cheers, is so unusually quiet today? We have to sign this young man named Logan, Mark, do you see what I mean? Until I saw the game go into halftime. Phil Knight leaned back in his chair. I didn't pay enough attention to rookie players before to think that Logan would have this level of talent. In all these years, my vision has never been wrong. In my opinion, Ro will be the leader of the next generation of NBA. Tell John that we don't need to wait and see, get in touch with Rogan's team and take down the young king of Los Angeles early. Phil Knight's eyes were fierce. He can see at a glance that a young man of Rogan's strength is the cornerstone of the Lakers' future team. Similarly, Phil Knight can see that it is only a matter of time before Logan becomes the future king of Los Angeles. I see, Chairman. Mark Parker isn't the kind of assistant of the 100,000 wise genre. As long as it was Phil Knight's instructions, he would carry them out 100%. Not to mention, this is the first time in so many years that Knight has been so active against a rookie player. This young man named Rogan, Nike is going to take it down no matter what. Gaze from Nike HQ and head back to the Moda Center. By the end of the half, the Portland Trailblazers had collapsed. Damian Lillard scored 19 points at halftime. He continued the fiery form of the last game. Unfortunately, Rogan, who is standing opposite him, also continued his fiery touch in the last game. 36 points, 5 assists, 5 blocks, plus 5 steals and 3 rebounds. Logan half a game, just 2 rebounds away, can send 35 plus level 5 by 5 data. At halftime, 2 ABC TV commentators looked at the technical statistics in their hands. Seriously, 36 points at halftime, in my opinion, is just Rogan's basic exercise. What really blew me was his 5 blocks and 5 steals in the half. CJ McCollum was completely reduced to Logan's data assistant. The all-star scorer had an absolute nightmare today. Lillard's ability to attack was destroyed by Logan. CJ, one of the Trailblazers' twin cores, was again killed by Rogan. By the end of the third quarter, the Lakers had already taken a 22-point lead. In the end, after the Blazers gave up the game at the beginning of the fourth quarter and replaced it with all the water dispensers. The race has also officially entered garbage time. With the home fans bowing their heads and leaving the court, the Los Angeles Lakers blasted 122 points in the game. With 122-98, win the Blazers by 24 points. While giving the Blazers their first loss of the season, the Lakers also won the second game of the opening game. 2 consecutive wins in the opening round. It is worth mentioning that since the 12-13 season, the Los Angeles Lakers have always been the beginning of a losing streak. The 14-15 season started with 5 consecutive defeats. The 15-16 season started with 4 consecutive defeats. In other words, the Lakers' 2 consecutive wins at the beginning of this year are already the team's best opening record in the past 5 seasons. Episode 27. In the post-match interview, Damian Lillard originally wanted to refuse the interview. Think about what you said before the game. Look at the final result of today's game. Lillard had anticipated that the media would publicly execute him. But team manager Stokes made it clear, Lillard had to be interviewed. The reason is also simple. Aside from Lillard, who else can the Blazers be interviewed with? CJ McCollum? Today's invisibility from being attacked and defended by Logan and having CJ execute these media after the game is too cruel. Mason Plumlee? The poor big man was still thinking about the three major philosophical questions of life. Who am I? Where am I? What am I going to do? Rogan's relentless military training destroyed Plumlee's fragile mind. Stokes also had to find a way to find him a psychiatrist to heal his inner wounds. Sum up. The entire Trailblazers can face the interviews of reporters, and only Damian Lillard. I know what you're trying to ask. In the face of the reporters' long guns and cannons, Lillard did not need them to open his mouth, and generously admitted, "Today I lost, but the season has just started and we have time to adjust. The next time we meet, I'll honor what I said." Reluctantly saying this, Lillard turned and left, not giving the reporters a chance to speak. But his words were enough. The next game between the Blazers and the Lakers is destined to be a head-to-head battle. The battle between Damian Lillard and Logan is not over. Like Damian said, the overall form of the team today was not too good. Trailblazers coach Stokes said in an interview that followed, "We'll analyze the tapes of today's game, identify the problems, and make adjustments. As for the opposing team, I think the Lakers are worth looking forward to this year. Stokes is not the one who can't afford to lose. They have a bunch of talented young players, especially the rookie named Rogan. Before the game, we thought that Lua was strong and only on the offensive end, but today's game let us know that he is on the defensive end, and he has a lot of presence. How many steals did he hand over? How many closures were completed? I can't remember the exact numbers, but his performance on the defensive end is definitely the top level in the league." After praising Rogan, Stokes ended the interview, turned around and followed his players into the players' tunnel. What really struck Stokes today wasn't the offense. It's defense. In his opinion, the upper limit of players who can only attack will not be too high. Only players who are both offensive and defensive have an unlimited future. Obviously, Logan is the future warrior whose sky is the limit. The team's tactics today are still very simple, which is to give the game to Logan. The team coach on the other side, who was interviewed by Luke Wharton, was much more relaxed. "I just need to call out the timeout properly and give the players enough rest." Last season, Walton coached the full Warriors. This season, Walton feels like he's coaching a full-fledged player. Having Logan is so easy and so cool. After Luke Wharton, reporters on the scene ignored the rest of the Lakers players and rushed to Logan's side. Compared to Lillard's 37-point deficit today, Rogan's explosive winning performance that filled the data bar today is even more worthy of reporting. Throughout the game, Logan played in the third quarter, once again blasted 48 points, and gave out 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 7 steals, and 6 blocks. 48 points of 5x5 data. More importantly, playing this level of performance, Logan did not make a single mistake. In NBA history, there are only 9 players who can play 5x5 data in a single game. Now, Logan has made the list 10. At the same time, in the history of the NBA, the players who scored more than 30 points in a single game scored 5x5 data, and there was only one person in the Big Dream Olajuwon. Almighty Big Dream once contributed 30-plus levels of 5x5 data 3 times, and hit Almighty on the public screen. But even if he is as strong as the dream of Olajuwon, he scored the highest score in a single game with 5x5 data, which is only 38 points. Rogan, the highest score in a single game under this 5x5 data, increased by a full 10 points. He is also the first 40-plus level 5x5 data creator in NBA history. Ro, how did you continue the fiery form of your last game today and set a record once again? Ro, counting the wins in this game, the Lakers' 2-game winning streak at the start of the season is the best start in nearly 5 years. Will the team pursue a longer opening streak in the new season? Luo. Journalists in the United States are still scrambling to throw out their own problems. And Rogan's answer is still unhurried. "I've had a similar answer to the record-breaking thing. It's a good feeling to set records, but that's not what I intended. I just did what I had to do to win the game. Breaking the record was just a matter of convenience. As for whether the team will have a longer winning streak in the new season, I can only say that we will always win. How long can I win, then only God knows." Breaking the record, Logan really didn't care that much. Throughout the game, all he really did was to quiet down the noisy Moda Center. One last question. Reporters at the scene crowded to the door of the players' passage and asked, "Luo, you contributed 45-plus points in the first 2 games of the week. Do you think you're going to be the best of the Western Conference week in the first week of the new season?" Due to the collective explosion of the stars in the first week, Anthony Davis also had 2 hot stats, and Westbrook even won a triple-double of the 50-plus level. Rogan's turnout, 245-plus, equally eye-catching. The competition for the first week of the week in the West was particularly fierce. Who will become the best player of the Western Conference in the first week has become a hot topic of discussion among countless American fans. On Twitter, topics related to the best of the week once soared to the top 2 of the hot search list, second only to the Kardashian family's Lace News popularity. Will it be the best of the Western week in the first week? In the face of reporters' questions, Logan calmly turned around. Why not? Episode 28, Sky Dynasty rookie Logan blasted another 48 points. He's the most anticipated supernova of the new season. The best rookie suspense is gone, and Logan only needs 2 games to lock in the title of best rookie. Soared to player of the week. Why won't Roe be the Western Conference player of the week for the new season? Just after the Lakers defeated the Blazers, the major media in the United States have issued headlines on their official websites. Everyone thought Logan wouldn't continue his fiery state. But Logan gave everyone a surprise. It's still a 45+ level scoring performance in 3 quarters. And once again, conveniently broke the highest score in a single game under the 5x5 data. That's the guy we missed, Phil. We missed a supernova. Madison Square Garden, New York. New York Knicks high-level office. Dolan, the Knicks boss who has returned from vacation, has exploded. If it weren't for Phil Jackson's fame, Dolan would have poured the red wine in the palm of his hand on the Zen Master's head. I tried my best, James. The Zen Master's face was also ugly. It was Logan who rejected us, not that we didn't work hard enough. Phil Jackson was also helpless. Promising to return as team manager, Logan declined the Knicks' gracious invitation. What can he do? He was also helpless. No, there's no excuse for failure, Phil. James Dolan couldn't stand it. If we don't sign Derek and quote Logan with a high salary, can we still sign it? Forget about Logan. Zen Master took over Ross, plus Noah, plus Courtney Lee this summer. As a result, the team has not won a game so far, swallowing 2 consecutive defeats. The failure of the reinforcement is almost written on the face. If the contract of Ross, plus Noah plus Courtney Lee is all cancelled, it is used to sign Logan alone. Dolan was not convinced that such a solution could fail. Replace these 3 with Rogan, and wouldn't the Knicks start with 2 straight wins? Dolan, who felt that his IQ occupied the high ground, the more he looked at the Zen Master, the more unpleasant it was. That is, the season had just begun, otherwise Dolan would have raised his hand to open Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson didn't dare say anything more. Rao is the man whose position is there, NBA coach president on the mountain. But in the management sector, his operation is indeed a bit deformed. I'll try to trade to get Roe, James, give me some time. With one last assurance, the Zen Master leaves Dolan's office and prepares to start a trade battle for Logan. Logan was really good. Cleveland, meanwhile. Quick Loan Center Arena. LeBron James, who finished training, watched ESPN's news program and pointed to the Lakers 7 on the screen. Tyrone, if we can get Logan. I see what you mean, LeBron. Cavaliers coach Tyronn Lue nodded. If we can get Logan, we'll have more capital to beat the Golden State Warriors. Last season, the Cavaliers won the Warriors, which was already an extremely laborious 1:3 reversal. In the new season, the Warriors directly got Kevin Durant to join. The Cavaliers want to defend their titles, which is ridiculously difficult. It is almost impossible to defeat Cosmic Courage with the current lineup of the Cavaliers. Reinforcing is the core job of the Cavaliers this season. After having James, plus Owen, plus Love. If you can take down Logan, strengthen the team's offensive firepower. Defeating Cosmic Courage and achieving the defense of the title is not necessarily impossible. Unfortunately, Cavaliers management called Lakers management. Mitch Kupchak directly rejected the Cavaliers' trade request. If you want Nick Young, we can talk. Rogan? Don't dream, buddy. I just turned down 15 deal reports about Logan, trading with Kevin Lowe? Unless you use Kerry plus LeBron, don't talk about it. Lakers management office. Mitch Kupchak hung up the management call of the 17th team in the last 2 days. These 17 teams all want to get Logan by trade. Kupchak's attitude is also firm. Logan is the only non-selling product in the Lakers. Even in Kupchak's opinion, he could get out of class, and Logan couldn't be put on the shelf. In the United States, Rogan's heat exploded. Far away on the other side of the ocean, the news about Logan sprung up like mushrooms, frantically popping up. TX Sports, for 8 points in 3 quarters, set a record. The second battle of Logan's career let the whole country shake. X-Wave Sports, the Lakers' new king beat Portland to the point of losing his voice. Logan led the team to victory with 48 points in the third quarter. A Fox Sports, no one can stop Logan, the rookie of the Heavenly Dynasty, can do whatever he wants in the Moda Center. Hoop Forum, what level is this wave? Logan scored 48 points and 5x5 data, filling the data bar. Logan's record-breaking performance in the first game has already caused heated discussions in the Tianqiao country. Today's second battle once again broke records and made a whole new history. The domestic media of the Heavenly Dynasty resolutely used Logan as the news cover in the most conspicuous position on the homepage of their official website. For a time, the entire Tianqiao basketball circle boiled again. Logan was very explosive in the first game. I didn't expect the second game to be even more explosive. I'm a Lakers fan from now on. Before you became a Lakers fan, I was already a Lakers fan. Heavenly Dynasty basketball has been revived. The United States regards Logan as the new king of Los Angeles. I hope Logan continues this hot state. I don't know when the Central Station will broadcast the Lakers game. While praising Logan's explosive performance, Tianqiao fans are also very concerned about one issue. As early as the Summer League, Yongtai No. 5 said that it would increase the live broadcast plan for the Lakers in the new season. Why is it that the two matches are over now, and the Central Radio 5 has not broadcast Logan's game live? Of course, the live broadcast of the Central Station may be late, but it will definitely not be absent. On the evening of October 30th, United States time. That is, 8:30 a.m. Beijing time on October 31st. For the first time in the new season, the first home game of the new season of the Los Angeles Lakers is live. Episode 29, CCTV number 5, CCTV number 5, hello audience friends, I am the host Yoga. CCTV studio number 5. Celestial Dynasty fans are very familiar with the basketball host Yoga, chanting their usual opening statement. Today, we are very honored to invite everyone to the studio to be familiar with Zhang Li's Hang guidance. Be today's guest speaker, the live broadcast camera turned. Basketball commentator Zhang Lili, who is very familiar to Tianqiao fans, appears in the picture. Hello friends in the audience, I am Zhang Reasonable. When Mr. Zhang finished greeting, Yoga opened the pre-match warm-up for today's competition. Director Zhang, the domestic fans can say that the domestic fans have been waiting for a long time for this game we explain today. The first home game of the new season for the Los Angeles Lakers is also our number 5 Central Station, the first Lakers game broadcast live this season. Yoga goes on. In particular, the Lakers also signed our celestial player, Logan, this summer. This is the first time we broadcast Logan's NBA game live. The live broadcast plan of Yongtai No. 5 has long been formulated. Although they decided to broadcast Logan's game live in the summer, the live broadcast plan had not been adjusted in the previous days. It also led to a game that until today, the first game that was officially broadcast live, Logan, in the Lakers regular season. Yeah, I don't care who the Lakers' opponents are, I just want to see how Logan performs today. Zhang Lili Old Man, directly incarnated as Logan Iron Powder, don't hide from you, we Logan, the performance of the first 2 games, in the United States, can be said to be earth-shattering. Many of my colleagues in the United States of America have sent private messages to my mailbox and wanted to talk to me about Logan. Especially ESPN, you may not believe it. They've started to discuss whether Logan will lock in the title of Rookie of the Season ahead of schedule. When it comes to Logan, Zhang has endless words to lean outward. Once upon a time, when the Celestial Guard was in the NBA, it was a no-nonsense word. How many NBA management only recognize the big players of the Heavenly Dynasty, will not look at it at all, the defensive players below 2 meters of the Heavenly Dynasty. Now, Logan's appearance has made the eyes of NBA executives land from a high altitude. Sky Dynasty Guard, the same can shock the world in the NBA, hit the All-Star Guard. The more I think about my colleagues in the United States, bragging about Logan's words in the email, Zhang Reasonable's old man, the more his love for Logan becomes. Of course, he is not exaggerating. ESPN did start discussing whether Logan would have locked in the Rookie of the Season ahead of schedule. Director Zhang, as you said just now, the media in the United States began to discuss the topic of the best rookie. Yoga continues to guide the topic, so from your point of view, has Logan already locked in this award in advance? From my point of view, Mr. Zhang rationally sorted out his thoughts. If from my point of view, Logan is the best rookie, there's no controversy about that. Look at the data he got in the first 2 games, the other rookies this year are not enough for Logan to watch. From the perspective of those media in the United States, it is only a matter of time before Logan wins the best rookie. So, I think he's already locked in the Rookie of the Season ahead of schedule. There's nothing wrong with this point of view. Logan locked in the best Rookie of the Season in advance, but it was not Zhang who guided the hard blow. Logan's previous performances aside, from the perspective of his opponents this season, Ben Simmons was reimbursed for the season due to injury. Number 2 Show Ingram has still substituted Logan. Number 3 Show Jalen Buelang, still playing rotation in Green Kai, the data performance is average. The performance of the rest of the rookie players in the order is even less worth mentioning. If it weren't for the fact that Logan had burst all the way, coupled with the fact that Ben Simmons had not been injured, it would have given fans countless imaginations. The 16th rookie is about to be ignored by fans, and even by the media. In this environment, Logan does not take the best rookie? Who else can take it? Who deserves it? While Mr. Zhang continued to blow Logan, the live camera was given to Los Angeles Staples Center. The pre-match player entrance ceremony is ongoing. As a traditional giant of the NBA, the entry ceremony of the Los Angeles Lakers has always been a wonderful link that Lakers fans cannot miss. After the substitutes came on in turn, the starters led by D'Angelo Russell stood on the court in the spotlight. As Nance Jr. stood on the court, the lights on the scene dimmed instantly. All the Lakers fans stood up collectively and prepared to cheer. The next thing that comes out is, in front of everyone's attention, the Staples Center DJ, with his classic deep voice, 2016 Las Vegas Summer League MVP plus FMVP. NBA all-time rookie first game scoring record holder. The first 45-plus level 5x5 data creator in history. Lightning Nova from the Celestial Dynasty. The savior of the Los Angeles Lakers. Staples the new emperor. Number 7, Rogen Dash. Under the introduction of the live DJ bass electromagnetic cannon, Logan jumped on the stage and clapped his teammates one by one. The entire Staples Center was also plunged into a sea of cheers. The harshness of Lakers fans is definitely the number one in the NBA among the fans of all teams. But today, facing rookie Rogan, who is standing on the field for the first time, the harsh Lakers fans sent him the warmest cheers and cheers. As the lights come on, the scene even began to bustle, cheers calling out Rogan's name. Although the sound is not loud, at least it shows that Logan has conquered a small number of Lakers fans in advance. The next moment, the cheers of these fans shifted to another direction. Magic John, coming out of the stadium entrance. Smiling and waving to the fans, Maggie sat down in the front seat he had booked for an entire season. Logan will conquer this arena soon. Sitting in his seat, he was interviewed by the media before the game. John the Magician smiled, "I believe that this day will not come too late." Episode 30. What the Magician meant was that he thought Logan would soon conquer the arena. That's the Staples Center. CCTV Studio Number 5. According to the signal broadcast in front of him, Mr. Zhang translated the remarks of the pre-match interview of the magician John Sun. Unexpectedly, even the Lakers' famous magicians have a fairly high evaluation of our Logan. Yeah, maybe this is the first time the Magic have this expectation of a rookie player, right? Yoga was also a pleasant surprise. Magic is thinking of Logan as the future of the Lakers. The camera returns to the scene. Today's opponent for the Lakers is the Washington Wizards from the East. The Wizards lost both of their first two games in the opening stages of the season. Unlike the Lakers' winning streak, they are the beginning of a two-game losing streak. Whoever our opponent is today, we will definitely win the game. The team's losing streak started to a losing streak that Wizards owner John Wall couldn't accept. The team's first win of the season, just today. 3 losing streaks to start? Wall couldn't accept it. Like John said, "I'm going to do my best to win today's game." Bradley Beal has the same goals as Wall. That's the first win of the season. The pre-match warm-up between the two sides ended quickly, with two team starters standing on the pitch. The Lakers' starting point is still Russell plus Old Dunhead plus Randall plus Nance Jr. and Rogan. The Wizards' start here is John Wall plus Bradley Beal plus Otto Porter plus Marcin Gortat and Markieff Morris. In the jump round, Nance Jr. defeated his opponent and took the lead in throwing the ball into Russell's hands. The Lakers controlled the offensive ball of the opening first attack. Russell pushed halfway through the pitch and decisively gave the ball to Logan. That's the Lakers' opening tactical setup, they always give the ball to Logan. Yoga quick analysis. Director Zhang, what do you think Logan will do with this ball? Logan's options are many. Mr. Zhang Lily is still slowly and leisurely explaining. Yes, Logan didn't wait for him to come up with possible options. Boo. Logan started with the ball in an instant, one step away from Beal, killed into the box, and the opening was a violent dunk, blowing the horn of attack. CCTV Studio Number 5. Yoga and Zhangli glanced at each other and smiled awkwardly at each other to ease the situation. Rogan's ball handling speed was simply too fast. And too decisive. Don't give Zhang reasonable old man time to slowly analyze it all. Times have changed, Zhang Gigi. Well, I really didn't expect that. Logan didn't have to think, holding the ball and dunking, all in one go. Is this offensive choice a little too gross? Why is it frizzy? Rogan's speed advantage is so obvious, it should be so played, Zhongli said directly, playing like this, quite reasonable. The Wizards attacked, Bradley Beal received a pass from Wall, faced Rogan's defense, and wanted to return the color. Unfortunately, the long two-point shot hit the iron and did not hit. The rebound was protected by Nance Jr. and quickly passed into Russell's hands. The Lakers countered the frontcourt, and Russell's long pass found the old Deng head. Roar Deng was a little slow at his feet, intercepted by Otto Porter, interrupting the speed of the Lakers' counterattack. This ball Russell should have passed to Logan on the other side. In Studio 5 of Central Station, Mr. Zhang Lili directly sprayed, how can he pass it on to Roar Deng? Maybe it's because Logan is too far away, don't we always say that it is not far away? That's for the usual situation where our fans play. Zhang reasonable old man continued to output, this is the NBA. Russell should have passed to Logan on the other side, and the ball should have been a very easy quick counterattack. Although the Lakers' counterattack became a position battle, in the position war, Logan was also an invincible existence. Amid the uproar of the Staples fans, Logan ran into the interior to pick up a pass from his teammate and take a one-arm buckle in the air. Force split the Himalayas. Look, this ball makes sense. Mr. Zhang Lili praised the ball in real name, Lakers players should find a way to give the ball to Logan, but Director Zhang, will this ball pass too high? This is where Logan can fly much higher than this ball. In my opinion, this ball can still pass higher. Yoga was silent. He didn't expect that old master Zhang Lili would enter the state so quickly. This feeling is like when Zhang he understood that Dayo was playing. It can be seen that not seeing a Celestial Dynasty player in the NBA for too long can be regarded as holding the old man back. Finally met a super heavenly dynasty person like Rogan, the old master still had to come to all 18 martial arts. Between yoga thoughts, Zhang reasonable old man's golden sentence came out again. On the field. Logan completed the steal and countered the front court. Facing John Wall, who was in position, Logan quickly changed direction, plus retreated, swinging Wall aside. Watching Logan dribble off the defense, Zhang reasonably blurted out, Rogan. Play with him. In the intimate commentary of the Tianqiao fans, the Los Angeles Lakers are killing in their own home stadium. At the end of the half, the Lakers led the Wizards by 20 points to establish the victory. Director Zhang, what do you think the Wizards should strengthen in the second half? During the intermission, Yoga led to the topic, what aspect of their performance in the first half was not too good? I think the Wizards should have stepped up their defense in the second half and stepped up their attack. Mr. Zhang reasonably replied casually, they can't attack or defend, what about the Lakers? They had a big advantage in the first half. After talking about the Wizards, Yoga pulled the conversation back to the Lakers. Director Zhang, what do you think the Lakers need to do if they want to win the game until they win the game? I think the Lakers should pass the ball to Logan and let him hit the basket. You see, what we often call aggressive is to fight aggressively. The Lakers did a great job in the first half, attacking most of the ball, passing through Rogan's hands. Generally the leading team will not change the tactics, the Lakers in the second half as long as they continue to play around Logan, winning is a matter of time. When it comes to Wizards, the old man doesn't want to say a word. But when it comes to the Lakers and Logan, Zhang Jiji can't wait to move out of the Xinhua dictionary and use every Chinese character to blow Logan. Listening to Director Zhang's classic commentary, Yoga can only smile and nod in agreement. Give the microphone to Zhang for guidance, this is reasonable.